They need someone that believes in them. They need that record restricted so they can go on and be a productive member.
One Life family, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. And today we're talking more about the Fani Willis situation. Fani Willis sat down with V103's Dr. Maria Boynton, and she did a very good interview, man. And she spoke on a lot of things. We'll get into the interview that she did. Nathan Wade has spoken out. He did a good interview. I don't have the full interview. I think it comes out later today, and but we'll definitely be looking at it, things of that nature. But I do have some of the interview he did with Lindsay. I think her name is Lindsay. I forgot her last name, but the lady from ABC News. Okay. Like I've been telling people the whole time, man, you know, Fani Willis is a lady that is very, very, very intelligent, man. They just came out, the brothers, the faith people, and said that, look, we fully behind Fani Willis, we fully endorsing her. She got a lot of powerful brothers that is up there endorsing her. Fani Willis, honestly, man, if you think about it, man, she really a powerful person. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these people are trying to tear her down, trying to hit her with these allegations and accusations. But at the end of the day, y'all see again how the problem lies with Fulton County. Problem existed well before Fani Willis got in office. What I mean by that is, you know, when they was at the commissioners meeting last week, a lot of the questions that were asked were basically, you know, who do she report to? You know what I'm saying? Who is over her spending? And really, you know what I'm saying, there's nobody that she has to answer to. And again, like she keeps stating, you know what I'm saying, she hasn't broken any laws. Well, I understand how people looking at the situation, but unless you have some kind of evidence or something to go to the ethics board with, you know what I'm saying, other than, okay, well, she was in control of a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? Because one of the things that she spoke about, and I told y'all this too, with my situation, that I had gone down there to the district attorney's office, and they kind of helped me out with some things, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get my record straightened up and stuff. And one of the things that Fani Willis mentioned was the programs that she had started. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't talk about the programs, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you're not going to hear a lot of people talk about the programs and the second chances and the things of that nature that the district attorney office do offer. You feel me? Now, I don't want people to look at it and get it misconstrued, you know what I'm saying? I understand Fani Willis does her job. Anything else is just preposterous, you know what I'm saying? It's her job to prosecute cases, to defend victims. That's what she went into law to do, and that's what she's been doing for the last however many years, you know what I'm saying? Now, again, a lot of the things that she has also started to do is these programs, you know what I'm saying? And so, when you have a situation like Fulton County, you got everybody trying to do something to help in their own way, you feel me? It's hard to kind of pinpoint where your budget and where things are exactly going, only because you're dealing with an elected official who don't have a person that they have to report these funds to. Although, you know, certain criteria is supposed to be met when dealing with funding. You know, I think you're supposed to report donations and money you receive that's over a certain amount. You gotta dang itemize certain things. But with Fani Willis, they just wasn't, I guess, making her do that. Even if they could make her do that, it wasn't being done. And I'm assuming accordingly from what I was hearing in the commission means she don't really have to do that. If she did, then you still gotta hold the people over her accountable because they didn't require her to do that. You see what I'm saying? Which is to report on the funding, what it would be spent on. I believe they said she turned in a list at one point, and then from there they kind of just cleared the budget, you know what I'm saying? But Fani Willis, like I say, she been meeting with community officials, man. She been out there, like she said, the events that she been going to is the events that matter. The debate situation, you got the other lady didn't show up for the debate. Debate is so old school. So let's take a look at some of the things that she said, then we'll go into some of what Nathan Wade said.
We have the first ever in Fulton County pre-indictment diversion program. It costs the participants nothing. And they leave with job training and their records restricted. But we've also locked up a lot of folks that don't deserve to be walking amongst us.
All right.
And so today I'm proud of the record I stand on. I am proud that I stand for justice. Let me say it again for those that anger. There is nobody that's the wrong race, that loves the wrong person, that doesn't have enough money in their bank account, that my office is going to treat beneath the law. The law protects all of those people, whether they're black, Hispanic, Asian, poor, bisexual.
All right.
We are going to stand in protection of those people because people should not be abused. But I said it earlier, Bishop, and I'm going to tell them again if it's all right with you.
Tell it.
It ain't no one above the law either.
All right.
So I don't care how rich you are, how powerful you think you are, who your daddy is, what your political partner might be, how much money you think you got, and how evil your supporters are.
All right.
I don't care how many times they threaten me. I will gladly leave this place knowing that I did God's work.
U.S. history.
Workplace romances are as American as apple pie. It happens to everyone. But it happened to the two of us.
Do you regret
that thing? I regret that private matter became the focal point of this very important prosecution. This is a very important case. I hate that my personal life has begun to overshadow the true issues in the case.
What are you thinking in that moment?
Again, you don't plan to develop feelings. You don't plan to fall in love. You don't plan to have some relationship in the workplace. That you don't set out to do that, and those things develop organically. They develop over time. And the minute we had that sobering moment, we discontinued it.
25 days we didn't hear from you or District Attorney Willis. You're a public servant, right? Getting paid from the state of Georgia. Why not say, okay, we'll make a statement, we'll get on top of this?
Let me say this. My conversation here with you today is just that. It's Nathan's conversation. I do not speak for the District Attorney's Office. I do not speak for their position. As a matter of fact, I'm certain that they would rather me not be having this exchange with you. So with that, I want to continually protect the integrity of this prosecution. I don't want to say or do anything that would jeopardize this case.
Do you think that you've done any kind of damage to this case?
None at all.
Even the public perception of it?
There again, this takes me back to the initial statement that I made. My private life became the focal point of the case. And my private life has nothing to do with the merits of that prosecution.
So you didn't realize when you took the case, your life was really going to be under a microscope?
I did not realize that my life would be in danger. The microscope, I don't have a problem with. The truth is, if the worst that you could find was the fact that I had a relationship with someone, or that I happen to be going through a divorce, that's okay. That's okay. I have nothing to hide.
And some of the attacks have come from the former president himself.
Is there any part of you that regrets that you gave him any aspect to say, oh, you have to question the credibility of this case because of the relationship between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade?
So, while I will concede, Ms. Davis, that the relationship did not happen in ideal timing, I don't think that anything that occurred during the course of the relationship should cause question as it would relate to the sufficiency of the indictment, as it would relate to any of the evidence that was uncovered and may or may not be presented at trial. There's going to be that day of reckoning where a Fulton County jury there in Fulton County, Georgia, would have to make that decision.
and not by anything else. And so it is important that African American women serve in these roles. But I'll be the first to tell you, and I hope that we inspire some young women today. You got to have a little tough skin. It's okay to be attacked and still do what you know is right for the community. And sometimes what is right from the community is that we have to remove someone from the community so they don't continue to rape, so they don't continue to murder, so they're not out here committing armed robberies, because we deserve to live in a safe community. No matter your zip code, no matter if you're wealthy or if you're struggling, you deserve to live in a safe community. But it is also equally important that we have programs like diversion, where if one of our young people makes a bad mistake, we can give them a second chance on life and not just throw away the key on what we know is our future.
And why is it so critical that you have African Americans in positions to make those decisions when it comes to matters of the judiciary?
It's important for a lot of reasons. First, I wonder if your listeners know that less than 2% of all elected district attorneys across the United States are African American women of color. And so it's often strikes me that I'm a unicorn sitting in this position. But it is important that you have a woman standing here, one, so other women know that they can do the job. It is important that you have an African American woman standing here because I look like and I represent the community. But I'll tell you a funny story, and it's a recent attack on me, and it's a silly attack. And I thought, there is just a cultural difference sometimes that strikes people. Somebody called me and they said, "Oh, they're complaining against your office. You hired a relative." I said, "I didn't hire any relative. Like, what the heck are you talking about?" And I think the reason they think that is because I called a lady my auntie. I don't think they know in the black community, I got about 1,000 aunties and 100 play cousins.
I had to get used to that.
Yeah,
though.
you had to get used to play cousins and aunties. Well, they're all across America. And sometimes, why is that important? Sometimes you will have witnesses come in and they are relating and communicating in the way that they do, the way that will be familiar to the community. But if you don't have the right people sitting and listening, they can often get mistaken. Well, everybody don't love black children. And that was a hard message as a new mom. He conquered those odds. Yeah. But how many of our children, our black boys, let's just tell the truth, are put in boxes like that and no one sees their full potential, and therefore they are judged. It is important in the judicial system that people see young black boys with value. And so when I see these young men, I automatically see value. That is all I see in them. And as a result, I'm not willing to throw them away.
So I'm sure you get criticism about spending monies from the Office of District Attorney on such programs. Do you or do you not?
Oh, no, I have been challenged on how can you justify spending money on a program that targets junior high school and high school students. So when people question me about spending my budget like that, I tell them we got a choice. You can see them in the courtroom or you can see them in the classroom. Yeah. Same thing with diversion. I am saving the state millions of dollars because instead of putting the scarlet letter of an indictment on someone, we are making the decision to not indict, but to make you pay back the society by, one, taking classes so you can understand how your crime impacted, 2, by doing community service that restores, 3, by paying restitution, which means I get my victim their money back even faster, and 4, we don't have to just monitor you for all this time. And so what we find is doing these programs, it doesn't cost the state money. It actually saves the state money. So I am willing to take that criticism because what I know is we are creating less victims.
Were you shocked or were you at all surprised about the scrutiny that hit you that sent you into a courtroom to defend yourself?
I'm never surprised about the scrutiny that I get. I have made it my practice to do is to outwork everyone. So I tell people all the time, I may not be the smartest lawyer you've ever met, but what you are going to find is nobody can outwork me. And after 28 years of working that, I got pretty smart on them too. So that work ethic and being critiqued and criticized, it is something that I've experienced since I was a child. Being underestimated is something that I've experienced. And being attacked, unfortunately, it is part of the African American experience in this country. And so it is not knocked me off my square, as they say. It's just part of the job. I'm willing to take it. When you sit here and you agree to put yourself up for public service, you have to know that you're going to be attacked. but you have to keep your eye on the prize. And for me, the prize is making sure that my community is safe. I'm surprised that the press has done that sometimes. I'm surprised. And I'm really surprised sometimes at the level of lack of investigating before a journalist would put that up. I tell people, I grew up in the day of 60 Minutes and investigative journalism, the same day you done. I know you will investigate, fact checked before you put things out into the air, because that's the way you were raised. You're not going to just put something out there and it's a lie. We have gotten into a day and era where clickbait is all that matters. I can remember one time going to my strategist, Mr. DeSantis, and I said, I read this article and it's not about me. Why is my picture here? And he laughed at me. Like, it's not funny. The article is not about me. Why is my picture here? And he said, because you're clickbait. Your image will make someone open the article. Well, the other thing that I have learned is that flashy headline, that derogatory comment about me or that derogatory comment about my mother or my children will make someone open the article. And so you can't pay attention to journalists that don't have integrity. And what I mean by that is you didn't even do your due diligence in checking to see was this true. It's very easy to check if something is true. I remember a year or two ago, they said, the DA did something illegal. She put her niece in this program. And I said, I'm an only child. It's a pretty well-known fact. Guess what that means? I don't have any nieces. And so with just a very little bit of checking, you could have known that what you were saying is a lie. But instead, what you chose to do is try to attack me by putting forth that lie. At this point, Dr. Boynton, it's happened so often, I'm just brushing my shoulders off and continuing to do the work of the people.